Do you want to understand how hormones affect hair thinning and loss with age? I got you. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about hormones in your hair. So Dawn, your natural hormone balancing specialist, going to help clarify some things with you. Okay, so we all know that stress isn't good for us, but it's definitely not good for our hair. So what happens is when people are under stressful events, there's a couple types of hair loss. There's something called TE, and it's called telogen effluvium. And that's something that can happen, and it's scary. I had it happen to me years and years and years ago. It's just a shedding of the hair all over, not in one spot, and it can actually be up to 30% of your hair, and then it comes back. But it's scary. It could be after extreme weight loss. It could be after extreme stress or trauma. But that's one thing, okay? That you have to just kind of wait out. Scary, but the hair comes back. Then there's when you lose hair in chunks and circles throughout the hair. That's a specific type of hair loss. Definitely go to a doctor, probably more or less a dermatologist for that. But then there's the typical that happens to men and women, which is just an overall thinning, but especially the sides, the front. It's called male pattern baldness. It can also happen in the back here. So this can happen to women or men. So let's talk about what's happening when that's happening and what we can do about it. Okay, so what happens is when we're under a lot of stress, the hormone cortisol goes up. And when cortisol goes up, it stimulates, without getting too complicated, it stimulates blood sugar, and then insulin goes up. And what happens is that decreases microcirculation. So we talked about in the first video, we got to massage, we got to use different tools to loosen our fascia and get plenty of blood there, okay? But the other thing we can do for that is we can take adaptogen herbs. And you might have heard of ashwagandha, ginseng, maca. So at Be Balanced, which is where I work and where I'm from, is we use a cream, so it doesn't have to go through the digestive system, but a stress cream that uses maca. And that helps to restore the adrenal glands, which is going to have an effect on the entire body, the thyroid, the sex hormones, everywhere. So we use this, and I'm going to talk about later how it affects some of their female hormones. So taking adaptogen herbs, and of course, meditating and trying to lower your stress is going to be good. Now, what happens when the blood sugar gets off? Take what I just said to the next level. Blood sugar gets off, and then you become slightly insulin resistant, which happens as we get older. You're not diabetic, but you're insulin resistant. Testosterone goes up. Now, I'm talking about women. When men become insulin resistant, estrogen goes up. How fun is that? What type of colossal joke was that? So anyway, so women are stressed, they become more manly. When men are stressed, they become more feminine. But that's what happens. So what do? My testosterone's high. Maybe I have PCOS, which is indicative of high. How do I get it out, right? You can raise testosterone. I can take it, right? But how do I get it out? You can only do that by lowering insulin and lowering sugar. So that's the main thing you can do. So we can lower sugar. That's going to get your testosterone down. But there's another trick, because when that's happening, your testosterone's going up, but your estrogen is still higher than your progesterone. You're still what's called estrogen dominant, which is what we talk about at Be Balanced all the time. It's what makes you not be able to lose weight, affects your mood, affects your sleep, affects menopause, perimenopause, even PMS. So that estrogen dominance, what can we do? We can raise progesterone, and we do that naturally with a plant-based product called Pro Plus. Goes in through the skin. You don't have to worry about your digestion, and it increases progesterone. And when you increase progesterone, that kind of competes with the testosterone that's there, that's on its way down, right? Because you're eating less sugar, but it competes with that, and so it doesn't hit the receptor sites here, causing hair thinning and eventually hair loss. Then we use these two creams together because the stress cream keeps the progesterone cream working better, because it helps keep the body's cortisol demand down. So cortisol is the one that robs progesterone. So we talk about this all the time at Be Balanced at our free consultations. Yes, we do have a multivitamin. And yes, is a multivitamin or vitamins good for the hair? Of course it is. But if your hormones aren't right and your fascia is tight, that rhymes, I didn't even mean to, but your hormones aren't right and your fascia is tight, your hair's never going to be the way it should be. So that was the first video. So this is the fourth of the videos talking about loosening up the hair, balancing the hormones, loosening up the fascia, balancing the hormones, and then things we can do for breakage in the last video. And then this video, again, was focusing on what is going on with my hormones that are possibly causing my hair to thin over time. So come in to Be Balanced. We do free consultations. We do them virtually if you're not located near any of our centers, and we can help you explain your hormones, and that's going to get more than your hair looking good. Your waist is going to get thinner, your mood's going to get better, your libido is going to go up. So at Be Balanced, we take the guesswork out of women's weight loss and wellness, but also out of taking care of your hair. Thanks for watching.